Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Spoop. I'm your host, Don, and today we're talking about Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, which I watched on Peacock. And I was very excited about this movie when I heard out it was coming out, and I never got around to seeing it until now, so I'm finally talking about it. And then we're going to jump right into it, I guess. So, as per usual on Let's Talk Spoop, we break things down into six separate categories. Those six separate categories are story, acting, music, atmosphere, look, and finally creep. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into Winnie the Pooh. Wow, that whole thing rhymed. Uh, so, story. This movie is exactly what it purported itself to be. It is the characters from the Hundred Acre Woods are killing people because Christopher Robin deserted them. This one specifically only features Pooh and Piglet. We don't get to see Owl, Rabbit, or Tigger. Tigger, I think, is because he wasn't available yet in public domain. He should be available soon. So it opens with Christopher Robin and his fiancee wife coming to the Hundred Acre Wood because Christopher Robin wants to show her his childhood and show her that these were real beings and that he isn't crazy and it's not him, it wasn't an imaginary friend. But it goes heinously wrong. And then we shift over to the all female rest of the cast. There's one male cast member in this, and that's Christopher Robin. We have an all female group that is going out to this cabin, very nice cabin, by the way, that borders the Hundred Acre Wood for like a get together, and then murder ensues. And that's pretty much the story. It's not terribly original. I enjoyed it though, so I gave it a 3.5 for story. Acting, oh, so back to the story. So there was another thing I want to talk about. The reason I gave it such a high score is you can tell that this wasn't just a cash in on the fact that Winnie the Pooh was now public domain. Like it is, right? That gave them the buzz, but there are hand drawn images. The story's actually fleshed out. Characters are fleshed out. Well, they are. Their motivation is there. So I gave it credit for that. I guess other people don't, but I did. Acting is a 2.5. So like I said, this movie they definitely put effort in it. None of the actors were phoning it in, but nobody really gave a great or standout performance. So 2.5. Music, there's not really much to talk about with the music as per usual with that. It's a 2.5. Atmosphere also a 2.5. This movie's pretty average. Aside from the fact that they took Winnie the Pooh and made it into a horror film, this movie's pretty much just overall an average film. The atmosphere was good enough that I was paying attention. Um, there are some ridiculous things in it. So one of the main characters, who's on this vacation, is there because she's trying to get over the fact that she had a stalker. So she goes with her friends to the woods, and then she tells her friends the story about the stalker, and then shortly thereafter, the hot one is in the pool taking pictures of herself on her phone for Instagram, or sorry, not the pool, she's in the hot tub, taking pictures of herself for Instagram, and very sexy swimsuit. And then when she takes a picture, she sees Winnie the Pooh off in the distance in the photo, and instead of being like, "Oh crap, my friend Stalker followed us here," she just jumps back into the hot tub and doesn't worry about it, and then subsequently gets murdered because that's what happens when you do that. But yeah, so atmosphere, it kept me engaged, but I wasn't like super super into it. Look, this movie had a very small budget. I didn't take the time to look it up entirely, but it had a very small budget. But they took that budget and they did a pretty good job with it. So I gave it a 3 for look. There's good blood effects. Um, Winnie looks kind of silly, but whatever. Piglet also, but it comes with the territory. They did make creepy versions of those characters, and I appreciated that. So I gave it a 3. Creep, I gave it a 2 because of the concept of classic story characters like these going on a murder rampage. There were a couple of okay jumps. It was all right. So 2 for Creep. We tally that up and we give this movie a 2.6 out of 5, which means this movie is distinctly watchable. I don't know why it's getting so much hate. I guess people were hoping for better, or it's just people who are disappointed that they decided to do this. I don't know. I enjoyed this movie. I think you will too if you watch my videos. And that's about it. Put your thoughts, comments, concerns in the comments section. Please tell me if you agree, if you disagree, why. If you're excited for the sequel, please tell me. I'm all ears. Uh, if you want to support the channel, please think about liking, commenting, subscribing, or donating. We would appreciate all of those things. And yeah. Okay, thanks. Bye.